Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum to all. Welcome to Virtual Learning System of Pakistan International School Type. Dear students, today we are going to continue the same unit number 9, separating the mixtures. So you all open your books and come on page number 56. Dear students, in the previous lecture, we discussed two ways of separation, filtration and decantation. And now today we are going to learn about evaporation and magnetic separation. So first of all, take a quick review about filtration and decantation. Filtration is commonly the mechanical or physical operation which is used for the separation of solid from liquid. Here you see using a coffee filter to separate the coffee flavor from the coffee beans. And here you see the sand and water solution we put on the filter paper. Then the solid particles or remains on the filter paper is called residue. And the liquid particles are easily filtered from the filter paper. This liquid is called filter rate. So this process is called the filtration process. Method of separation, sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation is a process in which insoluble heavy particles like rice or sand in a liquid are allowed to settle down at the bottom of a container. So this process is called sedimentation, and then the liquid is poured into another container carefully. This pouring of liquid in this manner is called decantation. I hope you understand. The sedimentation is the process in which insoluble or heavy particles in a liquid are allowed to settle down, and the liquid is poured into another container carefully. This pouring of liquid in this manner is called decantation. I hope you understand. Third method or third way of separation is evaporation. How do we get salt out of seawater? Salt is soluble in water. You cannot use the filtration method to separate soluble substances from a mixture. To remove salt from a water, you will have to use another method called evaporation. So filtration method we use to separate insoluble substance from a mixture. So when we want to remove salt from the seawater, you will have to use another method called evaporation. Do you remember what happens to water when it is boiled? It changes into steam or vapor. It evaporates and the salt remains in the container. In this way, the salt is separated. In the mixture below, salt and water are heated by the sun. Here you see, you must be do at home. You make a salt and water solution. Then this solution you put in a plate or saucer, and after you leave is near the sun, and then the warmth of the sun evaporates the water, and evaporation leaves salt in the saucer. Okay, dear students, you all of you do this practical and then you share your experience. Okay. Evaporation and condensation, the process of conversion of water into vapor by heating is called evaporation. Evaporation is the process of conversion of water into vapor by heating is called evaporation. Here you see the water is converted into gas or into vapor by heating. This process is called evaporation. Next is evaporation is when the sun heats up water in sea, rivers, lakes, oceans, and glaciers and turn it into water vapor or steam and rises up into the air or atmosphere. So, and water is also evaporated through plants and soil through a process called transpiration. The water vapor cannot be seen with naked eye. Evaporation is when the sun heats up water in sea, river, lakes, oceans, and glaciers and turn it into water vapor or steam. Here you see, did you know oceans contributes about 80% of total water vapor in the air? This is for your extra knowledge. Oceans contributes about 80% of total water vapor in air. Here you make a salt solution. After this solution you placed under the sun or near the sun. Then after the 3 hours you observed half of the water is evaporate. So this process is called evaporation. The water is heated by the sun. Then after the 3 hours, the half of the water is evaporate. So this process is called evaporation. Again here you see the seawater is heated by the sun. Thus the water vapor or steam is rises up and then they make a clouds. See this seawater is heated by the sun. Then the air or steam or water vapor is rises up in the atmosphere or in the air, then they make up clouds. This water vapor or steam you can't see with the naked eye. This is the evaporation method. Evaporation, it is used when a homogeneous mixture is made up of a liquid and a solid, such as the salt water. If you heat the mixture, the liquid will turn into vapor, steam, evaporates, and the solid will remain, stay behind. Here you see evaporation is used to remove water in salt evaporation ponds. The sun heats the mixture, the water evaporates, and the salt is left behind. Evaporation is used to remove water in salt evaporation pond. The sun heats the mixture, the water evaporates, and the salt is behind. So this process is called evaporation process. Again here you see evaporation is nothing but a thermal separation process. You just remember that evaporation is nothing but a thermal separation process. Theoretically, evaporation means simply vaporization from the surface of a liquid. Vaporization of liquid below its boiling point is called evaporation. Thus, no boiling occurs and the rate of vaporization depends on the diffusion of vapor through the boundary layers above the liquid. Theoretically, evaporation means simply vaporization from the surface of a liquid. Vaporization of liquid below its boiling point is called evaporation. Thus, no boiling occurs and the rate of vaporization depends on the diffusion of vapor through the boundary of layers above the liquid. I hope you understand this process. Next process is magnetic method of separation. Magnets are used to separate magnetic from non-magnetic material. Magnetic material means iron filling and non-magnetic material means sand or sulfur. Here imagine that iron fillings and sand are mixed together. How would you separate? We separate through the magnet. Here you see electromagnets are used to sort magnetic metals from the junk in a scrapyard. So this magnetic method of separation we use to separate iron filling from the sand mixture. Next here you see what is the magnetic separation. Magnetic separation is used to separate metallic substances from non-metallic substances. Metallic substances means iron, nickel, cobalt, and non-metallic substance means sand, sulfur, etc. etc. Magnetic separation, when we can use magnetic separation if we want to separate heterogeneous mixture that consists of substances attracted by magnet like iron and substances that not like sand, wood. So this type of separation is called magnetic separation. Here you see scrap metals and iron industry. They use to separate metallic substances from non-metallic substance. So this method is called magnetic separation. Next see magnetism. If one component of the mixture has magnetic properties, you could use a magnet to separate the mixture. Like iron, nickel, and cobalt are all materials that are magnetic. Not all metals are magnetic, like gold, silver, and aluminium are examples of metals that are not magnetic. If you want to separate gold or silver from the sand or from sulfur mixture, you don't use a magnet because they have no magnetic properties. Again, here you see iron filling, that one is sulfur. If you mix together and make a sulfur and iron filling mixture, and if you want to separate the iron filling from the sand, you use a magnet. See, I hope you understand. Again, here you see sand and iron filling. If you want to remove the iron fillings from the sand, you can use the magnet. These are the four ways of separation. Again, here you see sulfur and iron filling mixture. And if you want to separate iron filling from this mixture, you can use a magnet and you can separate iron filling easily. This experiment you also do at home and it's very easy. You can mix nails or sand together and make a mixture. Then you use a magnet to separate the nails from the sand mixture. It's also very interesting. You can do it and share your experiences, okay? Again, here you see separation of iron filling and sulfur mixture. This one is a sulfur powder. That one is the iron filling. You can mix it together and you use a magnet to separate this iron filling. Dear student, I hope you understand all these ways of separation or separating mixtures. So we can use these four ways: filtration, sedimentation and decantation, evaporation, and magnetic method or magnetic separation. Okay, dear students, your homework is you learn and write definitions of evaporation, decantation, and filtration. Inshallah, in the next lecture, we will do the exercises. Okay, dear students, best of luck.